I think Earl was the only one there, and he had a 3-2 set with Joe and a 3-2 set with Ken.
So yeah, this should be a very fast-paced set. Definitely your Also, there are 6 potential matchups in this one matchup.
Yes, anything can be happening at any given time between like the Pyra-Mythra switch, and obviously the Pokemon trainer has the swap as well. But I think for the most part, Squirtle is probably the strongest of the 3 characters in this matchup considerably. I don't mind Charizard against Pyra because you can kind of drift her out with like Tail and such. But for the most part, you're going to see a lot of Squirtle and probably a lot of Mythra.
Well, that's like all Pyra-Mythra players are like, why should you go Pyra? Well, sometimes you just got to make your opponent scared. Sometimes you got to just take the stock, you know? Same as Squirtle, where you expect to see mostly Squirtle, but then all of a sudden they switch to a heavy hitter and you're kind of shooketh.
So a lot of things that you got to keep in mind here with Squirtle. So we saw a second ago, Brandino he keeps hitting these F-tilt grabs, but Mythra actually has a fast enough jab, I think it's frame 2, to jab out of that. So it's not actually true. You don't get F-tilt grab for free. And there are certain characters that can get out of it. Sheik can get out of it, and I'm pretty sure Mythra can get out of it as well. So if Brandino keeps doing that and Joe gets wise to it, you're going to start to see F-tilts get punished on Squirtle consistently.
Yeah, Squirtle F-tilt is one of those moves that's just really good, and it's a matchup check to know how to deal with it. You definitely don't want to be giving your opponent grabs for free.
All right, what I believe is the back air. I have to remind myself that Pyra's actual swings are not exactly the quarter circle like Mythra's are. But I believe that was back air that took the stock, and now Joe going to start to run away with this lead a little bit. Quickly getting the juggle here with Mythra.
3 back airs and counting up tilt up air, just not letting him land. Ivysaur coming out.
And right there, you saw a second ago, this is why people think Aegis is so good. If you get juggled in most situations, you may never land again. Aegis theoretically should never let somebody back on the ground when they're vertical to them. You've got that crazy up tilt that covers almost every landing option.
Mythra should never let anyone land. Against Pyra, you might be landing.
Yeah, sure. I do say Aegis. I do definitely 100% mean Mythra. As we get the jab lock off the F tilt into the double jab lock into F smash.
And likewise,
Classic
this character's own landing is super strong. Not only do you got the character switch, but you also got foresight on top of big air. Just landing with dare is busted.
So every time Brandino tries to approach, Joe like moves back to the corner and then jumps like over the platforms or like platform height to center himself. So what I'd like to see from Brandino more is that he just use the neutral beat, the Hydro Pump? No, Hydro Pump is up smash. Water Gun, thank you. I couldn't think of the term. I'd like to see more Water Gun because you can just push Joe into the corner with Water Gun. You'll get your chance to charge it again when you get them off stage, but I'd rather have stage positioning than just going for the cheese. So utilizing Water Gun just in neutral when he's out of distance is good.
And he read the high recovery, and that paid out big.
Yeah.
With the Pyra up air, that's all he needed.
Yeah, we talked about, oh, why switch to Pyra? Well, because you can kill Squirtle at 60 with like 4 moves.
Yeah, that's busted. And you were talking about Water Gun. You know, I think Water Gun and Flood are some of the best moves in the game in the sense that, yeah, they don't do any damage, they don't do any hit stun, but you win the stage and neutral for free.
Yes, positioning is incredibly important in Smash Ultimate, for sure.
It's actually important in every game, I've come to realize, but especially in a game like Smash.
Yeah, a platform fighter requires you to be in a good spot on stage to not give your opponent the chance to hit a move that will take your stock. If you can play that mode of video game, the odds are you're going to win more than you lose. Yeah, we see Samty do that all the time.
Yeah,
abuses Flood.
He does. He's good at, well, he's just one of the best Marios. But you ever think about how this game is kind of king to the hill? You actually want to be in the center of the stage. That's where you're going to live the longest and get the most optimal combos. Somewhat.
All right, Hollow Bastion is the counter pick here from Brandino, which I like not being in PS2 against a character like Pyra-Mythra, because when you do actually get advantage, you do not want to give them the opportunity to get back. There's the thought process of, oh, well, a smaller stage means you're going to get juggled harder. You can't really get juggled harder from a character that's juggling you into eternity all of the time.
That's true. It's like, how much worse can it really get?
Right, so you might as well give yourself, like, the difference in how hard it is for you to get them off stage on PS2 to, say, like a Smashville, and the difference in for how much easier it is for them on a smaller stage is minuscule and in your favor mathematically.
So here's the thing about the Squirtle-Mythra matchup, right? Squirtle still gets outranged. Yeah, he can contest Mythra's frame data, but range, no shot.
Yes. There was a theory for a while that Squirtle was like the Mythra buster, but now Aegis is a broken top 3 character. Like, she has very few losing matchups, if any.
Yeah, one way I compare these 2 characters is like, why deal with 3 characters when you could deal with 2? You got a strong heavy and a light fast character. You don't need more than that. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, Brandino had a nice first combo, and since then, it's been 120 damage to 10.
Yes, but he's still, there it is. He's still holding on to this lead. Charizard comes in, takes the stock, so.
I was looking at the percents wrong, actually. I take that last sentence back. No, Brandino just had a solid stock. I was looking at it, I was like, I was pretty sure he was doing well. I looked at the percents backwards. That's
so it's good to see Brandino, have a much more better, just showing signs of life in this game too.
That was a good Hydro Pump. It forced Joe to take the high recovery, which was then punished. Like, Hydro Pump is just good in many circumstances. Switching to Ivy. Against Pyra, this isn't so bad.
So I've heard matchup advice from Aegis players that you should never let this character recover high. If you let this character recover high, you're letting them get away with murder. Because like when they recover low, they got the ledge snapping. Okay, weird spot dodge, but and that's how you capitalize. Okay.
Brandino staying alive for quite a long time. Footstool goes for the dare. Not going to get the roll in.
At some point, you let Charizard stock tank, let him do his thing, throw out a couple up smashes.
Anything that can get damaged, but he just can't seem to find the space in here. As Joe going to take that first stock.
Should have let Flare Blitz rip, man. And Joe striking back now, trying to close this lead. Now only 40% between them. Squirtle, Mithra. This is what we're mostly going to be seeing.
Yeah, this is the majority of the matchup. You can start to switch into the other ones when you have the percentage and the stage positioning, like so. That was stage positioning and percentage to go for an early kill.
The fact that Brandino is alive there is huge for him right now. Losing that stock that early would have been probably GG.
He went for it all there, and it was stopped by the side B from Joe.
Getting away with murder again! Brandino needs to count his blessings. He's playing with house money right now.
Yeah, he probably should have lost 3 stocks there.
Yeah, actually. But this is Smash Bros. That's how the game goes. And, now there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
All right, he's not out of the woods by any means. If anything, he is now in a really bad spot. Okay,
I could have sworn he was alive.
Yeah, he didn't quite survive that F-tilt from Pyra.
Good water gun?
All right,
Great water gun.
There you go. It was a good switch to get through the water gun, but he had to stay Pyra and go for the ledge snap, and I don't know if he would have made it either way. So Brandino going to take the stock. And all right, this is now his winner's life is on this one stock. Can he do it again here on Hollow Bastion? Gets the grab. Here we go. Gets the down air. But he cannot get the follow-up. He hit Joe towards the ledge and not towards center stage, which is what he was predicting would happen.
Yeah, you're the PT expert. I know reading where your opponent's going to get sent is a huge part of just being mechanically good with your character. Sometimes, oh, wow, I love that. You get the water gun, push him off stage, now you can recover. But that high recovery keeps getting sniffed out by Joe.
Yeah, if you see Pyra on stage and you're Squirtle, you cannot double jump up. Like, you're going to die so early. You got to be careful with that. Gets the footstool.
Oh,
jab block down smash. Wow. Great stuff from Joe as he's going to take that set 2-0.
Second game was really competitive up until he hit him with that side B, and you don't think you're dead to a Pyra side B until you get footstool, and then you're like, well, I can still make it out of this, but then once you get the jab lock, you know it's over.
Side B jab lock, side B footstool jab lock down smash, that's absurd. That's a kill at 70 from downtown.
That's what makes people say, oh, Aegis is so busted, top 3 or whatever character.
All right, folks, stay tuned. We got